What's up, droners? And welcome to another Droner News. We have drones hitting helicopters, we have drone laws getting overturned, and lots more. So let's just jump in. All right, so as you guys can see, I am still on set because I'm working still, but I'm still happy to be here and bring you guys some Droner News. So the first thing we have is a super crazy one, is a drone hits a military helicopter. And this one is, I guess it was like only a matter of time. It happened in, it was flown out of Fort Bragg, which is New York City, and it was the helicopter's flying at 500 feet, supposedly, and a drone hit it. And it damaged the helicopter. First of all, why would a military helicopter get damaged by a literally plastic toy drone? I don't understand that. Obviously, we're not building our helicopters like they used to, but either way, 500 feet, got hit. It's our responsibility as drone pilots to avoid any form of aircraft. That's why we have to fly within visual line of sight. Like, I don't understand how you miss it. Military helicopters are the loudest thing in the world. But either way, they got hit, actually had to do an emergency landing. They were able to land safely, did do damage to the helicopter. They actually even found components inside of the helicopter from the drone, so it pretty much exploded. And the military is currently doing an investigation on who the pilot of the drone was. They haven't found out who it is yet, but I'm sure that when they do, it's gonna be some problems and misunderstandings and other things like that. So keep your eye on this story. Everything about this hurts my soul because this is like one of those things that sets a precedent for like future laws to be made that are just gonna screw the rest of us drone pilots. All right, coming number two. This is one of my favorite stories I've heard about drone stuff in a long time. Now, I've talked about it before, is that there's a lot of local ordinances and municipalities that are making drone laws that don't make any sense. Like, I tried to get a drone permit in Manhattan Beach, and they're like, oh, of course, you can have Manhattan Beach, California. But like, yeah, you could have a drone license. All you have to do is be able to bring your drones down to our sheriff's office, pay this fee. The sheriff's gonna inspect your drones, make sure they're right, and then we're gonna attach our stickers to the bottom and make sure that everybody knows that you are flying legally in Hermosa Beach, California, because we wanna keep things safe. And my response was, okay, you're charging a fee to get a separate permit, also attaching a foreign object to my drone that could actually help crash it, and you're regulating that by literally looking up and seeing a sticker on a drone. That doesn't make any sense. It's actually quite dangerous. I don't believe that I should do that, and I actually didn't do that. I kind of got into a little bit of argument with the sheriff on the phone. The other thing is that they make you go into the sheriff's office so he can inspect your drone, and I asked him, like, what are you looking for? And he was honest. He was like, I don't know, I'm just gonna look at your drone, make sure you don't have any weapons attached to it. So I was like, if I attached a weapon to a drone, do you think I'd bring it to the sheriff's office to show them before I flew it around and shot somebody with it or did something? Of course not. Like, it's just, the people who made these laws obviously didn't know drones and didn't understand what they do and how they work. And all that is the precursor to this, is that one of my heroes now, Dr. Michael Singer, who is a Harvard professor, he took on the city of Newton, Massachusetts, because they have their own drone ordinance that had 4 statutes that he didn't agree with. And he didn't agree with them to the point of he took them to court, and the brother won. He won. He beat them, and he made it so that the court had to rule in his favor and strike down all of these 4 ordinances that he went after, simply because they did not fall in line with what the FAA had put forth in Part 107, because he was flying with a Part 107 pilot. Now, this is a huge precedent set by this, because this is saying that ordinances or laws that are made by municipalities cannot circumvent laws made by the federal government, which means that these like the Manhattan Beach and all that, this is setting that precedent that, in theory, they're not allowed to make these rules where we have to attach things to our drones or have to pay extra to have certain permits or do these other things. You're not allowed to do that. And if that's the truth, that means that it's going to be a lot easier and a lot less gray area for us drone pilots when we're trying to fly in different places around the country, like myself, when we fly everywhere. So keep your eye on this, guys. It's really important, and you know, still stay safe. Coming number 3, you guys know how much I love drones helping people. And in this instance, we're actually going to be talking about Iraq and drones helping to find different lost cities in Iraq. Yeah, so a drone did find a lost city in Iraq, but this goes back before that. Obviously, the U.S. has a lot of spy satellites because we're the U.S., and we had spy satellites that had taken a bunch of images of Iraq, and recently they've all been declassified. Some British researchers got their hands on these declassified images and noticed that there was, in these wheat fields, there's certain areas that the wheat just wasn't growing that well, and they were in patterns. It looked like it could be a wall or something like that, and they're like, we don't know what that is. So what they did was they brought in some drones to get a closer look at it, and what they found was the walls to a city, which they dug up and found that this actually isn't just a city, this is a city that has Greek architecture and Greek things inside of it. And they came to figure out that they knew what it was. It was a city that was founded by Alexander the Great as he waged war against Darius III of Persia. It's called the lost city of, I don't know if I'm saying this right, Qalatag Darband, which is a big deal because there's a lot of artifacts and it's a historical city, apparently a site that was founded for war because that's what people do. But either way, it's drones helping people find new stuff and hopefully learning more about our history to literally learn that we're all the same. And drones are bringing us together, so this makes me happy. All right, coming up next is DJI occasionally releases things called white papers, which are just pretty much press releases that are their suggestions for press release, for like laws and the way that things can work. And recently they released some white papers talking about drone traffic laws. I talked about it last week on Droner. There was actually, there's legislation or places where they're actually looking to make drone traffic highways, kind of like we have highways for airplanes now, where it's like, this is where you're allowed to fly, this is where you aren't. Those highways were established by making a bunch of towers and a huge infrastructure system that had to be physically brick and mortar built. And a lot of places that are looking to be able to do something like that, like AT&T, US government, and yeah, they're trying to make traffic management systems, and they're looking at doing it the same way that we already did for the airplanes, which in theory works really well. But DJI put out their papers and said that we don't believe this is necessary. DJI said that not only do we not believe it's necessary, the reason we don't believe it's necessary is because of the technology we currently already have in our drones. They already do object avoidance, they already have a super advanced GPS, and they already are very safe. So if we trust the technology that we have, we don't have to build millions and millions of dollars of infrastructure and just say, okay, here's the areas they can fly, here's the areas they can't. And the technology can take care of the rest. The drones won't hit each other because of the object avoidance, and they'll also stay where they're supposed to stay because of GPS. So DJI, they've done this before. They put out the white papers about they put out the white papers about the weight of drones that can actually hurt people, because they believe that new drones that are under 2.5 pounds can't actually hurt anybody, but currently it's 0.55 pounds is what you have to have it registered after. So DJI said they could be heavier, it's fine, it can't hurt anybody, and Virginia Tech even did follow-up research to figure out that that's the same thing, it's the truth. All right, coming in last but not least is drone taxis in Dubai again. I talked about eHang doing this a while ago. They had plans, the Dubai government was like, yep, let's do it. But eHang has had a lot of hangups on that. There's another drone company called Volocopter that actually is in there. They already did their first test flight for 5 minutes. I mean, they had princes there, they had everybody there, and it was a huge success. The drone did it, it did what it was supposed to do, and the company is predicting they'll be able to have taxi drones in the air within 5 years. To me, is this technically a drone anymore? Because it is a drone-like thing, but it's carrying a person. That makes it kind of a vehicle. That's up for debate. But either way, it's fine. It's electric. It's rotors. So I'm talking about it, and it looks like there might be drone taxis sooner than we thought in Dubai. So check it out. It's weird. It's interesting. And to me, at the moment, I'd say it's dangerous. I wouldn't mess with it, but I'm sure there's some crazy people who'll try it at first. I'll give it a few years before I do it. Droners, thank you for checking out this edition of Droner News. And if you want to see more Droner News, we got more for you. Or if you want to see the greatest intro video ever made by a drone channel, we got it right here. As always, make sure that you support us by doing 3 different things: hitting up our Patreon page, going to our link below to get one of these fly t-shirts, or subscribing. We love it when you do that. And as always, make sure you stay fly.